Alright, last video about this, I promise. But it made me kind of reflect back on my life and how close I had become to really being homeless. And I knew this about it, but it's kind of put it in a new perspective for me. Because when I was in fourth grade, my dad had ended up quitting his job as a Methodist minister in Nebraska because he got into a disagreement with some of the higher ups or whatever about what we believed in. And so we quit, and we decided to move down to Tennessee, where my brother was attending college. And so we moved down there, and we kind of moved in with him. So that worked out to begin with. But after a while, he decided that he was going to move on to a different town. And so we were left with nowhere to stay. My dad still doesn't have a job. And that's when we had fallen the closest to being homeless. And we didn't have anywhere to go. And so we're kind of, my family did a good job of kind of hiding it from me. But we went to public housing, and they found out there that it was going to be, I don't remember how long, but it was going to be a long time before public housing was going to be an option. And my dad was resourceful enough to, and outraged enough to contact the senator from Tennessee and tell him about our experience and how we were trying to get public housing and we'd been denied, and that we're going to be homeless, and we don't have anywhere to go. And fortunately enough, that worked. And we were able to get into public housing then, and we lived in the projects. And so that was how we were able to avert homelessness. But it was still a difficult time for my family, completely in poverty. Dad working jobs where he's not getting enough money to support us. They're paying us to stay there, actually, because they give you a stipend to help pay your bills. And so I remember that that's really close, and we were fortunate enough to be able to have that resource and to call out and get the help, but that doesn't usually happen. And how, that's how close it was for me to become homeless. Literally, my dad had to quit his job. He quit his job for the right reasons. He's not doing something wrong. He's not lazy. He's got master's degrees. He's been almost completely through seminary. He's been a pastor. And he goes down here to Tennessee, and he can't find a job. I mean, he's got master's degrees. And we're living there with our family. Your family's always going to support you, right? Your family will always be there for you, right? And not to criticize my brother too much, but he moved on, and it just didn't work out. And there we are. And we can't stay in that apartment anymore because we can't afford it by ourselves. And we don't, what do you do? And so public housing, of course, let's go to public housing. And then that almost doesn't happen. And so that's how easy it would have been for me as a fourth grade boy to have been a homeless child with my homeless family. So it really is kind of a realization to me that homelessness really can happen to anyone at any time, and not because you've done something wrong. I mean, that's always the stereotype that someone's homeless because they've done something wrong. They've gotten fired. They've gotten addicted to drugs. They've cheated on their wife. They've done something that they deserve homelessness, or that's just that's the consequence. You shouldn't have done nothing. But I mean, you can do something that's right, and that's how you end up in homelessness. You can stand up for what you believe in, and that's how you get into homelessness. You could have taken all the steps to make sure that you're educated enough to get a job and fall into homelessness. So what I would try to challenge to you guys, what can I do to be homeless? I can share more about that story from my personal life. I can share about the experiences that I learned. I can stand up and just be a friend for those that are homeless. I can remember what it's like to be completely ignored when you're on the street. I can remember what it's like to ask for help and just be stared at. I can remember what it's like when I go through and I encounter homeless people, even the ones that are scary. You know what I mean? I can remember what it's like to just be thought of as that way. I mean, we had people who pulled their children back from us because they were nervous that we were going to eat them or something. I don't know what they were afraid of. They were going to catch homelessness. I mean, I don't understand it, but that's the stuff that I'm going to remember. That's stuff that I'm going to learn when I'm going through, and I'm going to make sure that if I see anyone behaving in that way towards someone who's homeless, to be like, listen, maybe it's hard for you to understand that one day that can be you, That could be you, or just that could just as easily be you as it could be that person that you're ignoring. That could be you that you're ignoring. Maybe you're not going to be able to comprehend that, but you can comprehend this. It could easily be me that's that person that you're ignoring. That could just as easily be me as it could this person over here. We just happen to be fortunate enough to not fall victim to that. So that's my encouragement, my challenge to you. That when you're out there, if you can't wrap your head around the fact that homelessness can happen to you, you can wrap your head around the fact that homelessness almost happened to me. It can happen to me, and so I would hope that most of you who are going to watch this video probably know me. I would hope that you wouldn't ignore me if I was in trouble. And in the same way, you should not ignore whoever that is that's in trouble. So, yeah, that's what we learned. It was a good trip. I was really excited that everyone on the trip, got something out of it. Felt like they had really experienced an educational experience, that they had a completely new insight and outlook on life, that they were motivated and inspired to do things about it. Already we have stuff going on where people are collecting clothes for the homeless. We have Box City coming up. Everyone's getting excited about that. Like, we're getting riled up. We're getting inspired. So this was a worthwhile endeavor, worthwhile trip, eye-opening, inspiring. I would, in fact, encourage every single individual that I know to do the homeless challenge. You can make it. It's really not that rough for the 48 hours, but it's going to show you. It's going to show you a lot about what it's like and how much these people are not bad people. They're compassionate people. They're people that are just a fallen victim to circumstance, and they just need you to be there for them. So, yeah, be there for them. Be them for me. Be there for yourself. Be there for them. We're all people. Let's take care of each other. So I'd encourage you to do that. I would encourage you to do the homeless challenge if you get the chance. And it'll be a rewarding experience for you. So yeah, I'm glad we did it. That's all. And I'm sorry that it took me like 40 minutes to tell you all that.